I want my community, I want everyone watching this to have access to that influence. Because I know how powerful it's been for me. You've been my biggest strength. You've had tremendous positive impact on my life.
The past begins to determine your present and also controls your future.
When you're taken for granted just because you're a homemaker.
We have to be a little bit more respectful to our parents' mental health issues.
He should know what I want and he should just do it automatically.
And earlier I had tried and I was denied the permission to pursue my music.
How can I get my husband to support me?
मेरे सफेद कपड़े पहनने से ना रोहित नहीं मरेगा, आप रिलैक्स करो.
I don't like her working hours at all.
Don't worry, Mom, postpartum is coming.
This is
We are nearing a crash.
finally no one tells me what to do. Like finally I don't have a mother-in-law who has to tell me something to do, and now she tells me when to wake up.
Your parents can't take care of you forever.
How will they understand my pain?
Relation that, oh, the youngsters, the youth of today turns to therapy for everything.
Should not be forced into a situation where I have to be okay for other people.
Life as we know it today is possible to be changed.
Absolutely, 100%. I was also told that this door of your father's house is always open.
Is it uncomfortable to ask someone for money? So I have two women before me here today who have greatly impacted my life. Mom, you've been around for 32 years?
Around
No
you? Around you, yes.
Around me for 32 years, and you've been a guiding force. You've been my biggest strength through life as I know it, and I'm so grateful and lucky to have you there. Coach, you came into my life 4 to 5 years ago, I'd like to say, in 2020, and you've professionally coached me. You've been you've had tremendous positive impact on my life, and once again, so lucky to have had you. So I have before me two very powerful women who've led very contrasting lives. For you, career has been everything. For you, Mom, your home, your family has been everything. But what has been so beautiful for me to witness is you've both held your own power. You've both commanded your own power and commanded your own voices. And that is something that has greatly influenced me, which is why I want to have this conversation today. I want others, I want my community, I want everyone watching this to have access to that influence, because I know how powerful it's been for me. So welcome.
Thank you.
Please.
Thank you, Masoom. Looking forward to this.
And Mom, I know this is
My first time in front of camera. So.
Yes, it's your first time, and I know it makes you uncomfortable, and you're still doing this for me.
Yes,
So
only
thank
for
you
you.
so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, Coach, you've had an illustrious career. You've worked across the globe. You've headed companies. You're a neuro coach, and you now use methods of neuroscience with spirituality to rewire brains.
Yes, I do.
What is rewiring a brain?
It's simple. Our brain thinks in a vocabulary. We have words that we put together, which we think about, we speak them, and that's how we really go through our life. And the past, sometimes, all of us have had experiences in our past that have been overwhelming for us. And sometimes the past begins to determine your present and also controls your future. So a lot of what I do is to make peace with a few things in your life, become clear on your goals, which are tomorrow. Because in tomorrow there are possibilities, in tomorrow there is opportunity. So it's always good, I feel, to be able to look forward and let go of the past and rewire your brain to be able to get clarity on where you're going, because that's where all the action is.
So, can I take it a step further and say that life as we know it today is possible to be changed?
Absolutely, 100%. Our beliefs create our reality.
What are the changes I've made since we've been working together? How have I rewired my brain?
Yeah. So I think when we met Masoom, it was COVID days, right? And there were times when I felt that you weren't very sure about what your purpose was. And because that was the time I think you were getting some flack for something that you had done. I don't clearly remember what it was. But your energy seemed to have gone down a little bit. And I think a lot of what I did with you was I reminded you of what your purpose was. And your platform was actually not for you, it was for you to make a difference in the life of others. And when you, I think, and it happens with all of us, while we are walking forward towards our goals, I mean, the environment can get a little overwhelming, especially when you are so much in the public eye. And you were not very sure. And I think when you became clearer about how you were using your platform for fashion, for entrepreneurship, for making a difference in the lives of the others, your Masoom magic, so to say, came back. And support Indian designers was something that was so close to your heart. And there were times when you weren't very sure about what you really, whether you could perhaps be an entrepreneur as well. And you did. You launched a new business. You moved countries. You started your family. And you weren't very sure whether you would be able to do all of them. But I think through our journey, your confidence in your ability to not be just a woman, a wife, a mother, a entrepreneur, I think you've understood that there are many dimensions to what a woman can be. And I think you have flourished in almost every one of them. And isn't that the secret of life, to be able to balance it out so beautifully? So, and I remember there was a time when we wrote, I can have my cake and I can eat it too, right?
Yes,
I can be a successful woman who is pursuing a career in the public eye, as well as perhaps be a mother and be a wonderful wife and be a wonderful member of the community.
And Mom, what are the changes that you have seen me make? Is there something that stood out for you?
Yes, I see a very positive change in you. I think you change for the better every day. I see a new you every day. There has been...
Only a mother can be this kind.
No, I'm very truthful here. I have seen you become a very, very confident. You were always very confident, but now you're confident with a new meaning. Like you have it all under your control. Like I don't see you ever I never see you now getting low or at a junction where you're feeling that is it a yes or no or what to do now. I think you just got it all right for you.
Mom, you have seen me so vulnerable. I don't know how you're seeing this.
This is of late. I'm talking about the last year, in the last 1 year, the new change. You asked me to change in you right here.
I'm going to take this as a great win for today.
Yeah. No, I'm extremely proud of you, the way because now she's a homemaker too. When I go to her house in Dubai, the way she handles now, I didn't know this side of Masoom, that she would handle home so well, a child so well, the staff so well, and the kitchen so well. That is someone like her doing all this with expertise. Like
we learn from the best.
Absolutely.
We learn consciously, subconsciously from what we've seen, and I have a mom who doesn't like one thing from here to there.
Yeah.
And you know what they say, right? It's
yeah. So for me, like you are 100 upon 100 where it comes to life.
Oh. Don't worry, Mom, postpartum is coming.
No,
we are nearing a crash.
No, we are not. We are not. I'm sure we are not.
No, we're not. We're not. So, Mom, what is it like being a homemaker?
It's really nice to be a homemaker. For me, if you ask me, it has come in phases. Because it's been all of 38 years I'm a homemaker. So in the initial stages of my life, when I got married at the age of 18. So it was, you know that, I was married at 18. So the first 10 years were maybe a little overwhelming for me, but it was in me to be a homemaker. I think I am the best homemaker there can ever be. I have that confidence in myself. I love being there for my children. It's very fulfilling. It's a very fulfilling thought for me when I'm available for everyone at home. I love that.
Does it ever get frustrating?
Oh yes, it does get frustrating.
Love the honesty.
So, yeah, so it is again like some days are very good, some days are bad.
Some days.
So some days are bad. So the major hitch here is when you're not appreciated. There have been times when I've not appreciated, when you're taken for granted just because you're a homemaker. Not by family, by friends too. So there was a time when I would feel ashamed to say that this question was very often asked by, like, I was surrounded by friends who were all working, and so whenever I was asked, what do you do? I would kind of squirm like, I'm a housewife was the answer. So that term has now changed to a homemaker, and it's such a beautiful term, I feel. And but now I proudly say I'm a homemaker. And when it gets frustrating when your own friends put you down, you're taken for granted कि इसको तो time है, ये करती क्या है, like what is she doing? She's sitting at home all day. So, but the people...
You have a lot of working friends.
I have a lot of working friends. So the people out there who are working don't understand even sitting at home and doing what I do is not easy.
It's absolutely not.
It's not easy. So
And I think it's the most important job in the world.
Yeah.
Right, Coach?
Absolutely. Because when you do a good job, then you get this.
That's taking the credit too much.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It can be frustrating, but it is... The better part is that it's very fulfilling for me. I can handle the frustration. It's very fulfilling for me, and I'm really very happy when I'm there for my children.
So I think this stems from the fact that it is a job that is not valued enough in society today. The National Sample Survey actually said that 49% of women in India wrote household as how they spend their time between the ages of 15 and 39. And this was just a few years ago. And that is your registered number of women, right? So we currently stand at about 160 million homemakers in the country registered. So we're actually standing at we're living in a country that has more homemakers than working women. And what does that representation look like today? How can we respect this job better? How can we value this job better?
I think the shift has to come from two places, Masoom. First, the women today have to believe that the value that they bring as women is so much more than what it is. Because if you are just told that this is who you are, you're put in a caste. And you think and you tend to believe that this is it, this is my life, this is what I'm supposed to do. I even have women coming to me today, many of my clients who said, yeah, our parents told us I have to get married, I need to look after my family, I have to take care of my husband, and I have to take care of the home. And suddenly when she is in her late 20s, she's gone, she's well educated, she studied overseas, she comes back and then she's saying, hello, the dots are not connecting. What my parents have told me is actually not what I want to do. And that is where the conflict, Masoom, starts. And once she understands that, yes, I bring value to the table, I love what I do, it is okay for me to balance a lot like what you are doing, balance my home as well as be able to have aspirations and dreams for myself, and it is okay. So the shift comes when she realizes what her power is. The shift comes when she believes that yes, what she is doing is important. Because if you don't value yourself, because you set your own narrative, right? You tell the story that you want to tell. You don't let other people tell your story. And when you become clear about it in your head, then nobody can bully you. It's not possible to be bullied. Because you are clear about what you want and where you're headed. And then when you walk that path with grace, with love, with patience, you become unstoppable. Absolutely unstoppable.
So I have learned, I think I've learned that from her. I have learned that you have to own what you want and do what you want, which was not there in me. And she says she's learned from me, but I feel that I have learned so much from her. I have learned so much when she's been growing up, and I'm seeing the fire within her, and I have learned so much, and I've adapted that in my life. And I give her a lot of credit for what I am today.
Exactly.
So what's the narrative you tell yourself, Mom? What's your story?
My story is that, what I tell myself is, I'm very happy, and I wouldn't ask for anything else. What I would be at this point of my life, I wouldn't exchange places for anyone else. I would like to be me. I love the place I am in. I love the people around me. I love the life I lead. I'm just enjoying myself. I'm enjoying my passions, and I think I'm very lucky to be doing what I love.
So, this is something incredible that I have learned from you, which is that, in your life, there are 3 non-negotiables. There's your physical fitness, which is the gym. There is your music, and there is your art, which has come in recently into your life.
Yeah.
And something that I've learned is that I can love my family, but it's okay to prioritize myself.
Yes.
I can love my family, and I can love my work, and I can be whoever I need to be to others, but it's okay to put myself first. And I don't think this was an intention. I think this is something that I've learned very subconsciously. I mean, you've lived it, and I've learned watching you kind of do that. But this is not a very regular phenomenon. I mean, I see a lot of middle-aged women, and I don't see this reflection. And I think that is such a huge part of where you hold your power, is that you have your hobbies, your passions, you know what you're good at. What's that journey been like? What's that journey been like for you?
So I was married at 18, which I'm saying again and again. So music has been my first passion. So I've been learning music since the age of 8 years. And I come from a very liberal family and a very open-minded family. And I was married into a very conservative and a very narrow-minded family. A joint family, in fact.
Traditional Gujarati.
Very traditional Gujarati joint family. And when I got married, there were already 7 people in the house of different ages whom I had to deal with. So it was very overwhelming for me. And I was still, I think I was managing pretty well. I had my children very early. I had Dhanraj at the age of 19 and a half. I had you at 22. So I think by the end of 6 or 7 years of my marriage, I felt like, I am belonging nowhere, and I just wanted something what I love to come back in my life.
Something to call your own.
Call my own. And earlier I had tried, and I was denied the permission to pursue my music. So I took one more chance, because I came to know of a certain music class going on at my mother-in-law's best friend's house. It was a group music class with 6, at that time for me, elderly ladies doing Gujarati devotional music.
And at this point, you've been trained in classical music, right?
Yes.
For years and years. So
for years
you were
and
quite.
Years. So I was trained in music, but 10 years of my life there was no music in my life. Suddenly at 18 there was no music. 18 music stopped for me. So I think I got back to music at the age of 27, 28 years old. And I don't know how I managed to convince her to let me join this class. And it was the biggest moment for me. It was the biggest win for me. And I was so happy to be just going and singing Gujarati music, Gujarati bhajans, which were not
Gujarati. Gujarati is a language. You've learned.
I've learned. Yeah, I'm married into a Gujarati family. So, but whatever for music, music is music for me. Even whether I at least got the start of singing, and from there I took हाथ उंगली दिया है तो what is that word? हाथ दिया है तो पहुंचा हाथ पकड़ लो. So then I did this class for 3 months, and then I started calling that home for classical again, and I started back on my classical music track. Then I also took my physical fitness into, I told my husband to crack that deal for me. I said, now get me permission to join the gym. So
It's unbelievable that imagine in this day and age when we're having this conversation, when you think back and you think that you'd have to
Yes,
fight a fight to join a gym.
I had to, like, I couldn't fight my own battles for the first 10 years. When I think of that I did not have a voice. I could not ask for permissions. It was like I would think 10 times of how to ask for something. So that was the time then. And so my husband was very supportive, and Papa really took all the permissions for me, whatever I needed to do out of line, which was for the family that back then it was out of line. So I think I broke a pattern here, and Papa got me the permission to join the gym. And it was like, for me now, if I talk to you, it's so small and so silly that joining a gym or joining a music class was such a big thing for me. It was such a big win, and they are my anchors still. Like, that is what I like. That makes me complete. That makes me complete. I feel if I can do a physical fitness thing every day and I can do a music class every day. Like today, if I was a little anxious for this session, I have done a class in the morning and I have done my Pilates session.
Good job.
And I have come here. That makes me just feel
more
myself.
confident.
More confident. It makes me feel myself.
Yeah. So see, Seema, your environment, you and I are almost the same timeline.
Same
correct?
age, yeah.
But your environment was very different.
Very different.
From my environment.
Yes.
And I got married when I was 24, and it was an arranged marriage.
Right.
But I was very clear that I had my voice because I grew up in Delhi University, and the kind of programming I think that my father did for me was very different from what any regular father would do to a young daughter.
Right.
And I was not taught to obey. I was taught to be respectful. I was taught to use my voice. Yes. I was also told that this door of your father's house is always open. It's not a message that is given to a lot of girls.
No, so it was not given to me.
Yeah, it wasn't given to you.
No, so
right?
mine was a love marriage. So I was reminded again and again that this is your choice. You're choosing this family. You will have to go through these things, and I was okay for it. So I could not complain. There was nothing. I was only told to adjust. I was only told to adjust and be respectful and just do what has to be done. I had no voice, like as you say.
Yeah.
So that's why I said the first 10 years of my marriage were
went in a blur.
Yeah, it was very overwhelming with 2 children back to back. Also, like I had 2
But
kids.
you did find your voice, Seema.
I did. Finally, I found my voice. So
absolutely, you did.
After that, so I came to know how to work around the people in my family.
Right.
And I cracked them. Is the right word? Yeah.
And I think a lot of Masoom's love for music also comes from the fact that you
dance.
I made her join.
You made
classical
her
singing. I made her join.
Yeah.
And Bharatnatyam, classical dance as well.
So this is how I grew up. So that was.
So that's the thing, right? You got your way and you won the game, but you did it so gracefully.
Yeah, without fighting for it. Like, I waited for my time. I convinced. I got them into it. Like,
because I fight for the things that I want. What about you, Coach? What was it like back then for you? Do you remember fighting any fights for yourself?
I always chose the path of grace and peace. I chose my battles very wisely. There were those that I had to fight, and there were those that I had to make peace with it. But my priority always was to keep the family together, to see to it that everybody is at peace and the elders in the house are respected. and from both sides. And I lucked out, I think, with my husband. I think it was an arranged marriage. Sometimes you get lucky, Seema, right?
There we have one similarity.
Me too. So, I'm a part of this one.
Absolutely. So I think it's very important to. But he never fought my battles, and I was very clear from the beginning, because that I have a voice and I'm going to use it, and I'm going to use it with grace. I'm going to use it with power. I'm going to use it for what I stand for, and I am not going to be bullied, and I am not going to obey. You cannot take long-standing patriarchal methodologies and put it on me and ask me to obey it. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. I was very clear about that. It was the 80s. It was Delhi. Those were Mandal Commission days. Those were the days when we were all just beginning to.
You were a journalist.
Yeah, in those days I was an environmental activist, I used to go and hum chik nahi chingari hain. Those were the kind of that's what Delhi University was all about. We used to do those dharnas, and we had to stand up for our own rights. So that's how it went.
So in one of our sessions, you told me the story about wearing the white outfit. Can you share that, please?
Yeah, those were early. They were like, I was married for about, I think, 10, 15 days. One of those 3-4 day honeymoons, came back. And the deal was that on the weekends, we used to live in a small apartment, and my in-laws, huge house, grandmother-in-law, buas, everybody was there. And this was May. It was hot in Delhi. I was going home in a bus, a BST bus, and when you're as gorgeous as me, as a 24-year-old, you really need to hide. You don't want to be seen by the men in Delhi buses. So I'm wearing a white suit, and I'm not stupid, Masoom. I know what white color stands for, but I don't believe in it. So I wore a white suit, and I'm wearing a yellow dupatta, and I've taken out my chura. Punjabis wear that bangle, and I put it in my bag because I didn't want anybody to know that this is a newly married girl. And I just, hiding in the bus, reached home, walk inside, and the grandmother-in-law is sitting here, the mother-in-law is there, father-in-law is there. I do touch feet, and the grandmother-in-law looks at me. She's like, ये लड़की से हम ऐसी बहू लेके आए हम लोग, 10 दिन हुए नहीं इसकी शादी को, देखो सफेद कपड़े पहन के आ गई है. And I'm like, okay, I expected it somewhere, but I had done my research and I was prepared. And so I told everybody, relax, take it easy. You want me to go change my clothes? I have a change. I'll change and come. I said, no problem. I will wear and come. Relax, everybody. And then I sat down and I put my hands on her knees and I said, Mataji, मैं आपको एक चीज बता दूं. मेरे सफेद कपड़े पहनने से ना रोहित नहीं मरेगा, आप रिलैक्स करो. And
that takes a lot
they
of
were
guts.
like,
that takes a lot of guts.
Yeah, no, because there is no evidence that by wearing white clothes, I get supernatural powers to kill my husband. It is not going to happen. So I went, I changed my clothes, came back, and there was all peace. It was fun, it was laughter. I made it very casual. And that's when in the evening my husband came to the room, and I think his mom must have told him, right? And I didn't have any leverage with the guy, right? Because
arranged marriage.
It's an arranged. I barely know him, but if I stand for something, I'm going to talk about it, and I do so till today. Till today, if I see that in my house where there are a few elders, there are conversations around body shaming, there are conversations around the color of a skin of a girl or somebody who has walked into the house, it's not okay. And I do continue to express my very kind opinion, because I feel that it is a woman's responsibility to be the change that she wants to see in her family. And if she doesn't do it, Seema, who will?
Yes.
Who else will do it? Because till date, there are conversations on the color of the skin of a girl. And how is that okay still? It's not okay.
And the size of her body.
You don't get to comment on that, Seema, no?
When you come to color, I have a lot to share on that.
Really?
Because I was judged for my color. I was given a lot of grief for my color. I used to be back in the days, I was very dark. And
you grew up in Nagpur, right?
I grew up in Nagpur, and I was on a bike all day. So, the Nagpur sun and the bike, I was totally tanned. And Raju happens to be very fair. So I got a lot of grief from his side of the family for my color. But leave aside that, on my wedding day, when my relatives have come up to the wedding stage and have told Raju in front of me that you are so good looking and you are so fair, and what did you see in our Seema? How did you choose her? This was said by more than 5 people or more than 10 people, and it was I was feeling so miserable. I said, this is my family doing this to me. Like, people back then didn't think what they're saying, I think.
Yeah.
But it did not affect me. For some reason, my color did not affect me. I was also told how to have a bath with the ingredients which will make me fair. But I did not believe in all that. Though I never said no for it, because I would never revolt, or I never had a voice. I would say, yes, I'll do it. But I didn't do it. It went all down the
Flesh.
All down the
Very
flesh.
good.
And I did tell Raju, I said, this is
Mom,
what I am.
This is your hack for a lot of things.
Yeah. No, but I did tell Raju, this is what I am. You have chosen me, so do not expect me to do these things. So my voice was only on Raju, no one else in the house.
And that's okay too.
Yeah, and he was a great...
Growing up, this has been such... apart from my husband, who has to bear the brunt of this because somewhere this comes, I've learned from this. But growing up, this has been incredible because Mom has always held her power. The men in our lives think, especially because they, back in the day, they're going to work, they're going to office, they're taking their little briefcase, Wolf of Wall Street mentality. But at home, she was the boss.
Yeah. You think so?
Always. In any marriage, in any family situations, there's always going to be. But every time my father has, spoken wrongly or slightly, spoken in a tone that he shouldn't have, she has sternly said, no matter who's in the room, she said, you don't have the right to speak to me like that.
Good job.
And
all the power would work on him only. So somehow we brought him maybe.
But
no, but I have to mention it here. I could bear all this, whatever I was bearing, the first 10 years mainly, is because of his support. His support was there. He fought my battles.
Great. He's very upset that he's not here today. So you've said this, and hopefully he'll be feeling better.
So he actually... Because of him, I could go through it. And it was my choice. It was a love marriage. I wanted to marry him. So this was a package with it. So it was a package deal. So I had accepted it. So that's why also I went through it quietly. But yeah, I think it all came out on Papa when it had to. Yeah.
No, till date. And I think it's a great quality.
I'm a very righteous person. Like, what is right, and what is, that is there.
Why does everyone think it is their birthright to tell women what to do? How to dress, what color to be, where is this stemming from?
I think it comes from a place where try to control. I think it's got to do with control because, but it's different now, Masoom. The narrative is changing.
Women have been listening to it. Women have been obeying.
And then financial independence is very closely linked to that, right? I mean, Sarojini Naidu also had a voice during our freedom movement. There have been powerful women who have made a difference in literature, in art, in theatre, in poetry. And I think those women but they've had a tough time. So they have always shown the way. Sita showed the way even at that time. Do not take bullshit to such an extent that it goes... When water goes above the bridge, you have to be able to stand on your own. And I think the environment that you grow up in, I think it plays a very important role in your ability to find your voice. And then for every woman to carve her own path. It is your responsibility to be the voice that Gandhiji said, be the change that you want to see in the world, that you have to be. And I think once you understand that you can actually do it, and you take responsibility of it, and you get out of that victim mindset, I think the game opens up. And we've had Jhansi Ki Rani also, right? So there have been brave women in our country, and they have been along the way. So I feel that in every corner, and I think today Bharat is awakening, and women, there have never been so many women who have
Yes.
ever worked, who have had financial independence. And yes, the social balance is changing because the women now are opening their mouth, and I think it is so wonderful. For 50% of your population has found its voice. 50% of our population is now financially independent. They have the right to dream. They have the right to be able to carve their own path. And I think it's so good for a country to have this kind of balance in its population. And across India, we are a very large country. And I think women helping women in business, you helping other women entrepreneurs, women support Indian designers. You in your own way are supporting women designers all over India. Isn't that correct? How many cities do you do it in? I mean, they're from all over the
country.
All over the country. So you know more about this than anybody else. I think you should tell us now. What do you think? Where do you think Masoom is headed with her? Have you seen that shift? Because I think you are so much in touch with creative women. And what have your stories been in terms of finding these women in different parts of India who are finding their voice, who want to be designers, they want to be financially independent? Don't you think that shift is coming and it's happened already?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's incredible. The shift has happened. We're witnessing it. I think we're in the prime of it right now.
Yes.
There are so many incredible stories that I have the privilege and the access to, that I get to share, and I feel so lucky to be able to share it on my platform. But the win is in that it's in breaking that pattern, right? It's in making that change. It's in being able to believe in yourself when, and the sad truth being that, we live in a metropolitan city. We live in a very modern world and a very modern lifestyle. But I work with so many smaller designers, smaller brands from the smaller towns of the country, and it is shocking to see the kind of battles they have to fight to simply have their own business. Financial independence is an extremely fancy word for someone living in a Patna today, right? And that's where we need to take these conversations to. So I recently wrote a book.
Yes.
I did the book tour, and I was in, Ahmedabad, Bangalore. Offline, the questions that were coming to me were all related to unsupportive husbands and unsupportive families, right? So the question was not, how do I scale my business? The question to me is, how do I convince my family to allow me to work?
Allow is the word.
Allow is the word. Permission is the word. That is
Permission,
painful.
allow.
And it is so easy for me to be sitting there in my, really gorgeous outfit and to be speaking with hair is blow dried, makeup is on, and to be speaking with this much from the stage. But when you actually put yourselves in their shoes, right? That was the pattern I saw. That's the one thing that I saw running across the board. How can I get my husband to support me? And that's, I think, where we step in. And I don't think it's just the men, it's the women as well. It's the families of...
There are hacks for that. Like you can, so in my life, so there came a point where I felt, I also want to work. So when we all had full-time school, when both the kids were studying, so I joined Raju. For 6 years we were working together. But I came back for my children. At 3:30 I would want to be back home. But so I tasted both I tasted how it feels to work. And I felt very good that, so this is how it feels to be working. And there is more respect when you work. I feel that. So I would get a little less backlash at home when I would be back, because I have worked with my husband. So
and that is okay.
That is okay.
That is okay.
That is allowed.
That is allowed,
that is
because
allowed.
I was working with. So you can start by working with your husband. I mean, working with the husband, or also when you start maybe in the in certain cases when you start supporting the family, it is okay. So that matters a lot.
Absolutely. I think that's such a great hack.
So
I think when
you're
start
supporting
with
the family, contribution towards the family.
Towards the family, you are so much more easily
Respected.
accepted.
The same people who had so many rules for me, down 15-20 years of my marriage, they were like very open to, okay, you are so smart, why don't you do something? But by then I had seen it, done it, and I was back to being a homemaker. Like after 7 years of working, I also tried some other things, and I was very content to being a homemaker and being around my children, around the family.
It gave you happiness.
It gave me happiness, and but they would say, there was a mind shift in them also. They would say, ki, you could be working, and you have but I wanted to spend time with my passion, so
Yes.
and with my children, and this gives me immense satisfaction in some way. I don't know how I think this has come from my mother, maybe, because even she was like that. She was always around for us. So that's why this is coming from within, that I always need to be there for them.
So see, here are 3 women, and for everybody the high is different, right?
Yes.
For you, when you're around your children and you're
That's
with
my
them,
happiest moment.
it gives you a high.
Yeah.
When Masoom, I think she mentioned this once, that when you speak about when a person experiences Masoom magic. And suddenly they are sold out, and when you watch that, it's very fulfilling. That is your hit, correct? When I get a call from a client of mine who has suddenly been able to have a baby, she has suddenly been able to open up, find a place for her office, and I get calls like this where, Coach, you're not going to believe this, and I'm like, I do believe it. Tell me, what is it? It happened? Yes, Coach, it happened. And for me, that is my hit. Right?
Yeah.
And so it is different for different people. And I think that is okay. That's okay.
You have to look for your high and do it.
The source of your happiness is inside of you, and it changes at different points of time.
It's okay for it to be different for
It's okay for everybody. Yeah, it's okay to be, but you should know how to access it. Yes. Because if you know how to access it, then the control of your life is in your hands. You have not given the power to your husband, to your father, to your brother, to your sister, to your colleagues, to your stakeholders to actually upset you, right? And that is when you become more powerful. That's when you actually have the power in your own hands.
But Coach, what if you're not able to identify this high?
And it's okay. So you keep trying till you get it. So your goal has to be able to find the meaning and purpose of your life. Like I always say, you don't find your purpose, you create it. You create it by doing things that you love to do. And as you grow older, Masoom, today you are doing what you're doing, right? Maybe 4 years back you hadn't written a book. But was there a book sitting inside of you? My answer to you is yes. But till you didn't believe in it, you did not put pen to paper. You didn't do it. But it was there inside of you. It was always there, right? Your maximize business. You didn't believe that you could do that, but
my talk show now.
Now you have your own talk show, right? So the minute
which now drives me immense purpose.
Exactly.
Suddenly, and I never knew this existed. I never knew this part of
you. So that is when it keeps on evolving, and as you grow, right? Like I always tell my husband, I'm not the woman that you married 30 years back. He's not the guy that I married. And if anybody tells you, oh my God, you just haven't changed, it's not a compliment. It is not.
We always tend to take it physically.
No. Yeah. So our human brains, our experiences are always growing. And we are always changing. We are always evolving.
Change is the only constant.
And change is the only constant. Yes. Especially in today's world, where things are changing so fast. None of us have been educated in tech, data and AI, but yet we are doing business in that. So we do have to get up to speed with it. And I feel if a woman if I learn how to manage my bank from my app, I teach my daughter, I teach my staff at home. The number of lives a woman impacts when she is financially, emotionally empowered is way higher than a woman's unpacked. I can give this to you in writing, Masoom. An empowered woman has power to change lives, right? Because that is how a woman's brain functions. Men's brains function very differently.
What is the difference?
It's a simple difference. Number one, women's brains are emotionally heavily wired. So we take decisions from emotions, right? Number two, a woman's gut feel is very high. Her power of intuition, where I just have a feeling, it's very high. A lot of men take data-driven decisions, and that is also okay. Number three is that a woman's brain has it's a very busy brain. The prefrontal cortex can handle tuck, 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 tuck. It can handle 5, 6, 7, 8 things. She can move screens very fast in her mind, right? A man's brain, right? Men's visual and spatial understanding is very high. They have very good memory of being able to find places. They are very good at that. They adapt very quickly to a visual change that might take place. They are very likely to notice if you're traveling with a man at the airport, he'll be able to spot the gate very quickly. You might just be looking, because you're looking at the kid, you're looking at the stroller, you're looking at your bag, you're minding the... Where's the gate? That's the gate. Okay, follow. Works very well. Men also have this very unique ability to be able to do one thing at one time. If you have to give instructions to a man, you give him, can you just
That's
go
such
like
a
that?
kind way of saying it.
Right? So you give it...
You mean they suck at multitasking?
Yeah, no,
They do.
women are
So
the best multitaskers. I
You
feel.
give it one step. First, I want you to do this, then do this, then do this, and then do that. Is that okay? When you repeat something to a man, it works well. And if you keep waiting, the biggest mistake that women make is that he should know what I want and he should just do it automatically. It's not happening. It's not happening. You want something done,
You have to say it.
you have to be able to articulate it as clearly as possible. Can you not see that the glass was just lying there? Can you not just take it? No, he didn't see it. He's not trained to look at it. You want to be appreciated and you love it and he's not doing it. You go and tell him, hey, listen, this is important for me. So can you please give him the vocabulary that you want, which fulfills your heart.
I've tried this. This works.
It works. It works like magic. It's
I think
very
when you
important.
spell things out to men, it's far easier for them to understand.
Right. Because otherwise your expectations are in your head and you are going round and round and round and round.
They aren't thinking so far.
They are not.
They can't be bothered.
So if something is
They
important
don't
to you-
care how your day was. I have to say, can you please ask me how my day was? So he'll ask me. I'm happily answering, you know.
One more thing I'm learning from her. She
Yes.
can be very patient and she says things very nicely.
Yes.
With a lot of grace.
Yes.
So, you know, coming to Mom, you're a homemaker, and something that I wanted to address is globally there's a lot of conversation around how it's a job that's not respected enough and how there needs to be compensation for caregivers in society as we know it today. But has not being financially independent, how do you feel about that?
So it has affected me sometimes, especially when we went through a crisis, and that was the thing which was affecting me very badly. I could have done something and I wish I had done something. That was very short term, but yes, it does affect me sometimes. That I wish I was financially independent. But I'm okay to be because I chose to be a homemaker, and I mean I don't think I can be doing both.
Is it uncomfortable to ask someone for money?
For me, no. Because I take for me it's my husband, my son, and now my daughter. because there was a point, Coach, I should tell you this. There was a
I
point when
remember.
Masoom came to me one day saying, you can use Papa's card and you can use Anura's card, and why not mine? Why am I not your child? I said, yes. So I immediately, like without any itch, I said, okay. So now I have 3 cards, so one given by Dhanraj.
No, that's not what happened. Every time I would urge her to use my card, she would feel very uncomfortable about it. Right? This happened a couple of times, and you would feel very uncomfortable about it. And no one understands a woman's urge to splurge like another woman. And she would feel uncomfortable, and she would look it, and it would, she would tell my father, and then my father would tell me that he would feel uncomfortable about it. So I went up to Mom and I said, why the hell not? If you're refusing to use the card now, and I gave her, how you give an extension of your credit card. I gave an extension of my credit card to my mom. And I said, this is yours, and use it whenever you want to use it.
But I did not say no, right? I immediately accepted
yes.
it. Yeah.
You said no 5 times before that. And then when the card came, you...
See, Seema, okay, I'm going to call you out over here now. Because there was a time when she came for her first session to see me. And after the session was done, she said, my daughter will pay for the session. And I was like, why is that? Why wouldn't you pay for the session? And she went away after that. She says, no. And I think you were telling me that...
that is the time I felt that I was caught at a spot. I can pay for my own session, but I told you, I think I'm not financially independent.
You said that, I remember.
And,
yeah.
And for me, it's okay if Masoom pays for it. By then, so for me, it's okay if Masoom
By then
pays
you were
for
comfortable.
it.
By then she was, I think,
I was comfortable with the fact,
with it. Yeah.
Okay, if my son can pay for it, my daughter can pay for it. It's the same thing.
It's a shift. It's a big shift. It's a big shift. Because my parents are living with me now because I'm the primary caretaker for I have an older brother and he's in the States. And my parents are in their 80s now, but it's so hard for them to still live in my house and see that their daughter is actually taking care of them. And I'm really proud that my mother-in-law lives with me too, but it was a big adjustment.
Both sets of parents
I have both sets of parents. It's not easy. But even it was hard for my mother-in-law also to adjust suddenly,
with your mom.
With my parents are living there and now she's there. But I must say, I think we've done a good job to try and normalize this situation, because that's what we find ourselves in today.
Back in the day, a girl's parents were never allowed to live with them.
It was not.
They would
हम
also
तो
not
लड़की
live
के
there.
घर का पानी भी नहीं पिएंगे.
I mean,
it was like that, if you remember. And to date, people, they look at us and in front of me, we were down somewhere and one of the uncles asked my parents, अच्छा तो आप अपनी बेटी क्यों रह रहे हैं? कितनी देर तक रहेंगे? In front of me, Masoom, this conversation happened. And I was like, hello, excuse me, it's none of your business. I'm the son of this house. I'm going to take care of my parents now. My brother does not live in India. So please allow us to do this with grace. Right? And I think women need to be able to take care of their parents.
Yeah.
If there are a lot of family, they're just 2 daughters, right? Will a daughter not take care of her mom and dad when they get older? Just because you don't have a son means you are abandoned in your old age? How is that
Absolutely
cool?
not.
It's not cool. No. And I think women need to, and I think there is a shift, Seema, for sure.
There is a shift.
There's a big shift that is happening.
Yeah.
Big shift. Right?
I agree.
So I'm going to take you back to our first session. In the middle of the pandemic. And I came to you because I was really struggling with my mental health, and lots of trolling. There was a lot of online hate because people were spending so much time on the internet. I was creating too much content. I think there was even a lack of thought from my end in terms of what I was putting out there. I felt misunderstood. I felt like I could lose my job. I felt the pressures of being cancelled online. And, you really, really helped me through that, because I shot another episode today, and the person I was with asked me that, do you still struggle with trolling? And I was genuinely so proud to say that I don't. And it has been such a difficult journey. I think it's been one of my hardest challenges and obstacles to beat. And there have been multiple times where I felt like I'm not good. I should just accept this. I'm never going to be able to recover from it. I'm never going to learn how to deal with it. Of course, it's going to continue to happen, right? It's a part of my job, and I accept that. I accept that others will have opinions. But to be able to deal with it and to be able to be tactful about it is something that you really helped me with. Do you remember what you did? What you spoke to me about? What was your guidance?
I think a lot of what I teach comes at the cusp of neuroscience and spiritual wisdom. And I think when I taught you how to do journaling in the beginning days, and meditation was something that you were able to embrace also very quickly. And as we know, journaling and meditation are the two most powerful tools of being able to take your power back. And I think you did it. Masoom, for you, you did the work. You didn't just come for the session and listen to what I had to say and walk away with it. You took action. And action is the first step of change. So the minute you changed your vocabulary, you got the words right, you were able to reconnect to your authentic self. And that is when, because like you say, you're a creative genius, right? We developed that vocabulary.
It's one of my favorite affirmations.
Yes.
I'm a creative genius.
Absolutely. And then you tend to believe in that, and you repeat it.
It's also Sakshi's, who's sitting right here.
Right? So, and when you believe in that again and again, because the brain only learns by repetition of information, there is no other way. And it takes time. And that new vocabulary has to be developed again and again, because the environment is shifting. What you are trolled on for 2 years back, maybe 1 year back you will be trolled for something else. So this is going to be a part of your life. And the minute you are centered and you know that your intention was on point, it was only meant to help and not to hurt, you're in a good place. And your consistency, I think, in working to becoming a better version of yourself has been absolutely outstanding. Outstanding. So I think, thank you.
So Mom, I don't even know if you're aware of this, because of course you were dealing with it then. But in areas of my life that I would usually have clarity, I was just facing imbalance. And I realized that it's so important to make that mindful shift. Your parents can't take care of you forever. There was that time had come where I needed to take care of you.
Yeah.
But I was unable to stand up to it. And
there was a complete role reversal. And she actually has become, the way she's taken care of me at that time is incredible. Like, but I never knew this side of her.
Yes.
No, I think we all have it, right? But I think we're that generation where this change is happening now to all millennials, where we've been babied our whole life, and now it's suddenly time to take care of our parents. And
so when the time comes, we can do it, right? We can do it. So, and also, your feelings were so, because it was COVID, you were so far away. You were in Antwerp that time. That's why you were feeling very helpless. You couldn't be there for me.
We have to be a little bit more respectful to our parents' mental health issues at this age. Right? It's so easy to turn to your parents and say, I know my mom, you really struggled with Nani passing away. And
yes, I did.
I felt like there were so many times that even I turned to you and I thought it and I felt it that, oh, Mom, you're in a bad mood again. Mom, you're sulking again. And, you sometimes come back from work and you just need your mom, or you want someone to talk to. And because you've been such a giver your whole life and you've been so available, that just... And I remember at that time urging you to seek professional help. because we felt like, some time had passed and
Yeah.
you were still not feeling better.
Yeah, I took more than usual time to come back to life, so.
And I remember really urging you to get professional help, and you took 2 appointments. You spoke to a friend. She recommended you spoke about your symptoms, and she recommended you see a psychiatrist. You took an appointment. You promised me you'll go, and you never went.
Yeah.
What was that hesitation to seek professional help when you knew you were struggling?
So, firstly, I was in a lot of grief. I think my mind was not working straight. And to just get that off my way, to tell you I've taken an appointment, so get out of the way, I've taken the appointment. But I think I always knew I'll never go. Because, I feel I would, that time the feeling was it's okay not to be okay. It's okay to grieve. I need to grieve, and I need to, when I want to feel okay, I'll feel okay. I should not be forced into a situation where I have to be okay for other people.
But you were finding comfort in your grief.
Yes, so that, but I think it was my need to be grieving that time. And I've always done what I want, that so I just wanted to be in that was my comfort space. So, and I also thought that I have lost my mother. I know what I'm going through. How will a person whom I don't even know, what will she tell me? What will he or she tell me that how to deal with it? How can someone tell me how to deal with my pain? How will they understand my pain? So these are 2 things which were stopping me to go to seek help. And I cancelled both the appointments.
And then I urged her to meet you. And I said, don't worry.
And I have to tell you how she urged me. She told me, Mom, you have to go to meet this person. She's so much like you. She has. She's so much like you. You'll love her. You'll become best of friends. And I've gone to her once. And just for me, just go to her. Just meet her as a friend. And she's lovely and she's so much like you. So I really remembered you a lot when I met her. She told me that you will really love this person, and she's so much like you. She reminded me of you. She put in all the sweet. She knew how to send me to you. So see, she saw that the 2 times I've cancelled my appointments, so she knew how to send me to you. So that was her. I give credit to her that I came to you because the way she put it. And she took my appointment, and then she told me to take that appointment. And I messaged you. I was taking a walk down, I remember, and I messaged you. You responded immediately, and the appointment was set for the very next morning. We went.
Now my coach is very busy. I have to take appointments weeks in advance.
So
those
was 21.
Those of the days.
That was 21.
Right, yeah, and you came.
Yeah, and I am sure she also had put in the pressure to you that please take her, she really needs it.
Yeah, I know. She had mentioned to me to.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And so would you say that was your first, ever time seeking professional help for your mental health?
Yes.
And what was that experience like?
Yes, I'd love to hear about it. I have no idea. I know you did come and see me again, but I don't know what that first one was like.
The first time I came to you, I really liked you. First impression was very nice, and you told me talk. So I think I spoke at length, getting into the details of how my mom passed away. I thought you were really interested, in knowing. And when it got over, I was expecting some empathy, some,
sympathy.
Oh my God, sympathy. And you said, I'm very sorry. Actually, I'm very sorry, Seema, this had to happen to you. But now what? So I was thinking inside my head, what does she mean? I was just thinking, now what means what? I can't get my mother back. Now what? So I said, okay, what? So then you started explaining to me the science of how the brain works and what am I supposed to do. So that was all a blur. I was not even paying I think I still have the book. I was not even paying attention to it so much because in my mind I was thinking I'm never coming back here.
Oh, really?
So I was thinking, no, what is she?
I know
the first thing you told me was...
She told me, she said, what is this?
Because the first thing I was told is, those days I was not sleeping at night, so I was waking up late. So I said, no, you can't get up at 9 o'clock. You have to get up at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. At least 6 o'clock you have to be up. So in my head, my story was going on. Finally, no one tells me what to do. Like, finally, I don't have a mother-in-law who has to tell me something to do, and now she tells me when to wake up. Like, that was my anger was coming out. And I was just, in my head, I was just making plans and never coming, so I just have to go through the process. But I heard her out, but she was so pakka. She told me, you will send me a good morning when you wake up next day. I had to send her a good morning, and I had to send her a screenshot of what I've written. So whatever she had told me how to do it. But what really helped me was the meditation. She gave me a meditation to do, which will help me. And but I'm a very concerned. Like I did what she said. If I do something, I will do it properly. So
you did the journaling and you did the meditation.
I followed whatever you had said. Yeah. I followed you to the T. I did everything what you said.
And then?
And within 4 days, there was a shift.
Yes, because that is the amount of time it takes to
within 4 to 5 days, and
pathway.
I think the 6th or the 7th day I took another appointment and I was back at it.
Yes, you were back. And thank you for
trusting me. And that is the second session was when we became friends. I could relate to you. I could relate to you because whatever you said was working.
It made sense to you.
It made sense to me. It was working on me. I saw an immediate shift in me. I saw there was life coming back. Like slowly there was life coming back inside me. So
you went back to your music.
I went back to my art. I stopped my art. I stopped my music. I stopped my physical activities. You made me come. You made sure I had to write it down. And I'm a person, if I have written it down, I will do it. Like, that's how you work. So
that's the way it works.
And you made me write down, like, I remember still, like, at this time, at this hour, you will do this. So I have to be true to myself, and I did it. So she was of great help to me, Masoom. And I'm forever thankful for you for introducing me to Saloni. And we did 6 or 7 sessions.
Mom, what I wanted to really highlight here is because I knew this was your experience. And it's important to share that seeking that professional help is not always comfortable at first. Yes. It can be uncomfortable. It's not a bed of roses. Going in, seeing someone and seeking that help could mean facing your demons. Could mean having those uncomfortable conversations. There's a lot of chatter these days in our generation that, the youngsters, the youth of today turns to therapy for everything. Right? And turning to therapy is not turning to a bed of roses. That's not easy either. And we've both come to you.
You're addressing your demons again and again when you go for therapy. I feel that, so it was a task for me to repeat the whole process to her. So that is not comfortable for everyone.
Yeah, and mental health transcends all ages.
Yeah, true.
Right? It's something that we've seen here. We've both had our own battles, and we both are learning how to work with that, how to surpass that, and that's okay.
Absolutely.
That's okay.
But this generation is, you pushed me to seek help. At the same time, I had support from everyone else also to do it. There was no one against it.
Yeah.
I think back in the days,
family support.
Yeah, is very important. Back in the days, it was not. I don't think so. It would have gone well with people.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it works both ways, right? For parents, for children, for both. Yeah. To be able to urge the other to seek that professional help, to be more understanding, to be more accepting. I think you'd know best, Coach, how this.
Yeah. No, so I think it's still, there is a certain degree of hesitation, there is still a certain degree of absolutely, yes,
in this day and age.
Yeah, and many don't even want to mention that they have a coach. But I think that
do many come to you and say that let's keep this
absolutely
under wraps?
100%, many of them. But I think in your own way, Masoom, you've played a very important role in normalizing conversations around having a coach in your life. It was a bad word for many, and I think in the earlier days, even just recently I had gone for a workshop and somebody mentioned, I said, she said, I watch you on Instagram. I said, yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, Masoom posted about you. That's how we know about you. And you normalized it. You posted about me a few times. You posted about how you journal. You posted about when we first met, I think in 23, I think we met for the first time when you came to India. And this is my coach. Now, the minute you say that, you are normalizing the fact that it is okay for such a successful person like you to also have a coach. And I think you normalized it for many young girls, and I owe that to you for making conversations around having a coach being normal, even if you're so successful, right? There is something else that can also help in you in your life, and I think that's what you did. And is it cool to have a coach today? I think we are getting there. We are getting there, slow and steady. So when more people like you, I guess, help others to feel comfortable to talk about it, I think the shift will happen. It's okay to seek help from somebody else. It's okay. It's all right.
Okay, so now let's, I don't know how often, I don't know what the trajectory of this talk show looks like, right? So I don't know how often I'm going to have people who know me personally on my show. So I thought, let's ask you both some fun questions. And, I think it could be a fun mix. I don't know how often it's going to happen. So we have some questions, so please feel free to be as honest as you need to be. What is one thing you both think I need to work on and get better at? Mom.
I'm about to say it and she already knows what I'm saying.
Okay, tell me.
Patience.
Patience. Yeah.
You get worked up very quickly. Maybe because there's a lot going on in your mind or...
No, of course. Yeah. Of course. Noted. Coach.
Exactly the opposite. So I feel there is a lot more that you can do. And I feel that your canvas is bigger. And you need to challenge yourself a little bit more and think a little bit bigger. That's what I feel you can do better. So that's a mom and that's a coach, right?
Yeah.
So that's the way it is.
What is a piece of advice that you've given me that I've completely ignored?
Yes.
So I think I have been trying to get you to join the 5 a.m. club for a very, very, very long time. And it's not happening. And but I'll keep trying. But at least at least you have continued with your journaling. And that is something that I think you have held steadfast. So I'm grateful about that at least.
We start with 7 a.m., then 6 a.m., then 5 a.m.
Yes.
But we'll get there.
We'll get there.
Mom?
But, the question was...
What is one advice you've given me but I've ignored?
I don't like her working hours at all. And I don't like her working hours. Yeah, when she's shooting, she doesn't eat in between. So that really pisses me off. And my advice is work, especially when you are at this stage. So today I was promised that today is the last day of work. But I have come to know through my sources that she's again working day after tomorrow, the day she gets admitted in the hospital, and I'm going to get angry for that. So she doesn't listen to me at all when where work is concerned. Yeah, so there
she has laser sharp focus.
Yeah. I have laser sharp focus.
She doesn't eat through 10-hour shoots also, she will not eat through it. So
true at all.
Now you're eating otherwise when do you eat? You do not even, earlier back in the day you would not even eat.
This is hilarious.
Okay, how do you think I handle stress?
I think you handle stress beautifully. You're amazing in stressful situations. You do not get hyper at all. You handle it very calmly. One more thing I'm learning from you is how to handle stress calmly and how to handle things very calmly.
What about you, Coach?
I think you're aware that shit is happening. I think you have learned to pause. And I think your brain is now working much faster which is more solution oriented. So I think that's a good thing. That's a good thing for sure.
What do you think is my weakness?
Your weakness is your work only. Your weakness is your work. You get carried away when it thoda aur kar लूँ. You're very committed to your work.
Your weakness. I actually can't think of it right now. I'll have to pass this. No, we all have room for improvement, I feel, but I think with a person of your level of awareness on where you are, and you're very aware of what you can do better, and you're very focused on how you can do it better. So I feel, and I find very few people who would come to me with that kind of an agenda. You know exactly what the problem is. This is what I'm not doing, this is what I can do better. Can you show me another perspective? Usually those are your conversations with me, right? So you are very aware. You're aware of what your weaknesses are. And I think that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. Right?
If I wasn't in the world of fashion and content and social media, what else do you think I would be ace at?
I think you would make a very good traveler because you travel. I think your photography and your travel and photography, somewhere in between of that, I think it would have been lovely. You know, made a very good photographer, maybe a fashion photographer, a travel photographer, maybe.
That's actually how my journey started.
Your journey.
Oh, really?
The camera.
Oh,
It was photography that I first picked up.
oh, I didn't know that. Oh, nice.
Yeah, at the age of 16. And vlogging came right after that.
Yeah.
Because of my love for photography, I married my love for photography and fashion and creativity, and that's how the world of blogging came to me.
Wow. Nice.
I agree with her. Listen, what you would have been. Yeah.
One thing you think I'm really bad at, but I just don't get the hint.
Spending more time with me.
Okay, we'll work on this. We have 40 days, we're bound in the house together, we're going to have lots of fun.
You think so? You'll have the fun.
You're good to go.
Yeah?
I think you're in a good place right now in your life. Very good place. Very good place.
Thank you. Thank you, Coach. I'm going to wrap with that. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
I hope it was as fun for you as it was for me.
It was very
Yes,
nice. Yes.
absolutely. Thank you so much.
It was very comfortable.
Thank you.